Minnesota. It's 4 p.m. on Friday afternoon. I'm Steve Thomason. Welcome to Art Pastor Live. This is my mostly weekly live stream where I like to end my work week by getting together with you on YouTube, on Facebook, and doing a little bit of art. Because here at Art Pastor, it's my mission, my joy to explore spirituality and scripture through visual art and creativity. And I like to open up my studio on Friday afternoon and do a little art with you, uh, getting my Bob Ross going, right? Where we do a little art. And this week, I thought it was really appropriate to do this kind of contemplative practice. Because, post election and everything, all of the emotions are happening. I know in my context, as I'm a pastor and a professor, dean of the chapel at Luther Seminary here in St. Paul, Minnesota, and I know that emotions have been high and just across the board. It's been a really raw week for everybody, and so I thought today what would be kind of fun is if well, I don't know if fun's the right word. Maybe therapeutic. It's probably better. Um, to do a little drawing. And one of the things that I like to do, okay, so let me just say this. One of the reasons I like to do this and one of the reasons I love art is because visual art, in particular for me, explores things in a way that words and rational thought just can't get after. And one of those things is deep emotion. And so I thought it would be interesting is that instead of talking about how I feel today, um, I want to draw it. And let me going to switch over to my iPad. So today, what I'm going to be doing is working on my iPad. Now I've got some contemplative music that I'll turn on in just a minute. But let me just show you the technical stuff of what I'm going to do. But I'm going to draw emotions today. And the way I'm going to explore our emotions is by looking at a collection of faces and just drawing them, turning on my contemplative music and drawing them. So I invite you, if you like to draw, take out a piece of paper, open up your iPad if you want, um, and draw these faces along with me. And maybe it'll be therapeutic, or you can just sit back and watch me draw. That in itself might be therapy. If you are with me live, I would love to hear from you. Just drop me a chat in Facebook or in YouTube if you have a comment or just word of encouragement for each other. Let's do this thing. Okay, so today, this week, I am on my iPad and I love drawing. Oops, I gotta get my over-the-shoulder camera here so you can see what I've got. Um, this is an iPad 12.9 iPad Pro. I love this device. And I'm going to be using two different apps. Last time I did faces in Procreate, I just used the reference. So let me open up Procreate first of all, and I'm going to start a new file, and I'm going to choose letter size portrait. Okay, so this is a vertical orientation. I'm going to go ahead and click on the background color and just bring it down to kind of a neutral gray. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Now, last time I did this, I used the feature here in the canvas mode called reference, where you can actually insert an image like this, or I can open up and I can just, choose an image. Like, there you go. How's that? That was my image from when I voted, right? I'm not going to draw that image because I want to show you a different app. It's a really cool app that I discovered a while ago. And it's called VizRef. And the way VizRef works, it's designed for you to bring in multiple visual references and have them all open. Let me make it a little bit bigger. And so I did this beforehand. I went on Pinterest, and one of the cool things on Pinterest is you can find facial expression collections. This is a really common thing for illustrators to just practice facial expressions. And so if you just go to Pinterest and Google facial expressions, you'll find hundreds of these little um, sheets with people. Sometimes it's like this, where it's the same model with multiple facial expressions. Like this one is Shaq. I love this. Or sometimes it's like this, where it's just a collection of lots of different faces. And so I wanted to use VizRef because I want to do a bunch of small, quick sketches today, just to explore the emotions. Now, what's interesting to me when I think about emotions and the face, humans, we communicate much of our emotions through our facial expressions, and particularly through the eyes, but also just the way the muscles interact with each other. We we connect these, and these are fairly universal across cultures. That smiles uh, portray happiness. This face is sadness. And one of my kids is on the autism spectrum. And so, one of the things about autism, in particular forms of autism, is that it's what they call face blindness or mind blindness, where they don't necessarily always read facial cues uh, the same way that other brains do, right? The neurotypical brains. And so, one of the things that we would do as a whole family is when the kids were really little, we would say, okay, show me happy. And they'd go, happy. Show me sad. Show me mad. Show me confused. Like that. And we would play through. And so this always reminds me of that when I get these little facial expressions. And so I thought it would be interesting and hopefully therapeutic today if we um, if we just drew emotions together. And so, cool thing about the iPad is you can actually split your screen like this. And so I'm going to have my VizRef open on the side here and my Procreate open like this, so that this way I don't have to be limited to just one image. So let's see. I think this face right here is one emotion that I might be relating to this week. I don't know. How about you? So let me adjust my armrest here, because I don't like to have my armrest too high because it hits my elbow. Because when I draw, I I draw with my whole arm, and so that you stay nice and loose. So here's what I'm working with in Procreate. I love Procreate because it's just a super powerful program for drawing, illustration, painting. And I'm using a brush that's called the Maxu Sketch Marker Soft. And I've toned my paper, and I'm going to just draw with black because I'm just doing some sketching. And I'm going to turn on my contemplative music. I got a new playlist for you this week, and I hope you like it. I found a bunch of music that's just contemplative, peaceful background music. So here we go. And I might talk, I might not. And again, if you're with me live, feel free to drop a chat, drop a question. I should be able to see the chat. Maybe put a chat in there just to make sure it's working. Okay, so let's get into the mode here. I'm going to take a couple deep breaths together. Hmm. I like to get into the mode of just observing. For me, sketching is just getting out of my my rational brain, my verbal brain, and just observing Just looking at shapes. And you can approach these faces any way you want. I wonder, what do you think she's saying here? What is this face communicating to you? And then once I get the general feel for it, then I can come in and just start working with the shapes of the eyes. And remember, I'm a caricature artist, and so I have a tendency to exaggerate the human face, and I kind of like that. I don't like to do like super academic, accurate portraiture. I admire that kind of work, but my stuff tends to always have a little bit of a caricature, exaggeration feel to it. I like the way the shadows play on this. You know, let me get the curvature of the eyeball in there. Now her eyes are hanging down and following the curve of the lower eyelid like that. And I'm just sketching today. I'm not trying to do like finished portrait work or anything. Just wanting to kind of unwind and explore my emotions and just get lost in the drawing. So relaxing. So I'm going to use, I can switch over to my eraser and use the same brush shape for the eraser. And by doing that, I can just knock out those highlights like that. And come back to my brush. The cool thing about this Apple Pencil is that it's all based on the pressure. It's two things. It's the tilt of the pen like this and the pressure of the pencil on the screen of the iPad. And the harder you press, the darker. And that all depends on the brush you're using. But in this brush, the tilt and the pressure make a difference as to the results that you get. I'm going to turn up my music just a little bit. Because I sure am enjoying this music. Lips are always interesting because I want to explore the curvature of them. A little shadow underneath there, and you want to leave that highlight across there. And again, I'm not trying to do a super accurate portrait or anything. Just enjoying the shapes of the face. And the emotion, that's what I'm going for. So this is the, I don't think so. Like, you said what? Did you just say what I think you said? I don't think so. Right? Something like that. Of course, when I do it, it just sounds weird. Let me zoom out a little bit and see what we've got. Yeah, we just do some, get my eraser in here and get some of that out of the way. I won't spend much more time on this one because I want to do a couple more faces. You've got the cast shadows. The light is in the classic upper left position. You can see a little bit of the neck. Got some shadow here. Let me make my brush a little bit bigger and just get really bold with the strokes. Ham Marola. I don't know what the expression is, but I've seen it on my daughter a lot. That's right. Hey, Pam. Great to have you here. So glad you're watching. That's fun. Yeah, this is definitely a teenager expression. Well, not even teenager, but yeah. It's like, can't believe you just did that. Kind of expression, yeah. So now I'm just going to go a little wild with the hair and have fun with that. Again, I'm just sketching. This is just therapeutic observations and yeah, I think that's all I want to do on this one. So now here's a cool thing I want to show you. In Procreate, You can come to Canvas and turn on what's called Page Assist. And what it does is it takes every layer or group of layers and turns it into a page. So you just hit New Page, and now I've got page 1 and I've got page 2. So you can do multiple sketches just as pages. It's kind of fun. So let's do one more with this particular model, and then we'll go to a different face. So, man, this is a very different. So just you got the basic shape. You've got the forehead plane, and then you've got the cheekbones. And you've got this front, the mandible arch there. And so the cheekbones are anchor points for the face. And then the mouth is more open. The mouth is open on this one. And so that's going to change the length of the chin. So we've got this really interesting shape going on here. So we're just going to kind of construct that. So it's got a curve over the chin there, but then it comes under the chin, and it pulls this all taut. And then got like that. Maybe you felt this emotion this week. It's very possible. And those big eyes from that last one. Look at this. From this one to this one. You know, it's just amazing. And then since she's tipping her head up a little bit, you don't see nearly as much of that hair at the top. So let's zoom in now and just do a little bit more. Just kind of get some anchor points in there. The corner of the eyes are real anchor points. And as eyelids are closed, eyelids curl around and everything collapses over that eye. And you've got come over here. When you're drawing faces, it is a combination of pure observation, because all of the answers to your drawing problems are right in front of you, and knowledge of anatomy, of knowing what's going on so that you can interpret some of the things that you're seeing. So it's an interesting combo. And I've been studying faces and I became a caricature artist professionally when I was 17. And just been studying the human face ever since then. And if you want to be able to caricature well, you have to know anatomy. casts a shadow right there. Now notice how the shadow casts down here and then wraps around here. Let's see, we got the crinkling up of the brow right here. All right, so now we've got you want to imagine the teeth structure underneath this, and then the upper lip, it's being drawn tautly around the teeth like this, and then it pulls back, so that's going back in space, so that little overlap there. This section is going back in space, like that. Yeah. And so, like when you're drawing this kind of thing, I just imagine myself like the tip of my pencil is kind of crawling around the surface, trying to feel the volume of it. Just curving around and then coming up here, and then that has a little bit of a dip right there. And then it comes down here, and then it comes up. And it's got like two layers to it. It's got that, it's like a softer, lighter underlip, as this is just being pulled taut across the bottom teeth. Now you can't see the bottom teeth, but that's what's causing these to come up. Like that. I'm gonna get these, if I can define these teeth in here with the dark. Bringing the size of my brush down a little bit, and I can really get in there and just bring that, yeah, like that. The little subtleties of how that line moves, I think, are really important. And how there's like two, we got to get the shading here, because this is also wrapping around, and then it comes like that, and it's interesting when you pull your chin up, you get like the walnut effect, the dimpling of that as your muscles all contract around your chin. And this is a pretty universal expression of anguish, right? When we lose something horrible and we feel pain. You probably felt, some of you may have felt that this week. Brush bigger again. Just get really dark in here. And just let the shadows kind of fall into place here. That really scrunchy. That's an intense one. All right, let's do a new page. Let's try let's try this one just for a change of pace. Like maybe you felt this emotion this week. It's like, oh my. This one's fun, but also startling. Just kind of doing a so what I'm doing first is just getting the big shape of the face. You got this big swoop. Frames the face like that. This is what we call a gestural sketch, to just try to get the movement and the flow and the basic energy and shape of the image. And a little bit of anatomy. And then I think the shape of this collar is pretty important to this image. Now, we've got now I'm starting to refine bone structures coming around like this. And something like this does require some exaggeration. So So let's get in here and see what we can do. This is kind of fun. So that eyeball is like that. You're gonna want to lock in the center. The corners of the eyes are really the anchors, the corner and the outside of the eyeball. And what will make this exaggerated is a lot of times people, when they're exaggerating, they want to make it super big. But it's not so much that it's super big, but it's the shape and exaggerated as to how much it wraps around the eyeball itself. Like her eyes are so wide that you can almost see the whole curvature of her eyeball. And that's just funny. And then these classic 60s, or I think it's probably late 50s, early 60s kind of makeup. Oh my goodness, I just created a new page. Don't worry, I didn't erase it all. Although I have done that before, and that takes your breath away. Okay, I want to get my eraser in here a little bit. In order for this to really work, I need to make sure that I have a lot of the bone. I need to see the whole eyebrow. And so I'm gonna work back my hairline a little bit. And I really need to see the way that the eyebrow is on the very top of the bone structure. Like it actually wraps around the bone structure. So it goes up, or goes along the top of the bone structure and comes back down. And then this one just goes like what? All the way along the top of the bone structure. I erase this because I need to get my pupils more centered into the eye socket. And actually, in order to make those look really big, I actually need to make the pupils look a little smaller, and that will make the whites of the eyes really pop. So the tip of the nose is an anchor point. And then the fact that she's pulling her mouth down is pulling the nostrils in a particular way. And it's stretching around her teeth like that. So her nostrils coming like that. Whoa. Now notice on this one, you can't see her upper teeth at all. Because she's pulling her upper lip down so far that you can't even see her teeth. And so what you see and what makes this funny is that she's exposing her bottom teeth. Like, oh, really? And her mouth is open so wide that there's shadows across her tongue. Like that. And then her bottom lip is extending so you can see the inside of her bottom lip as it sticks out, and then it's just kind of like a shelf just hanging out there. And that's what makes this expression so interesting. It's like her bottom lip is just totally hanging out there and curling down over her chin even, which I think is just hysterical. Absolute shock and guffaw. Like, what? So I'm going to shorten her chin here to make sure we get the sense that it is really coming down into her chin. There we go. So I'm going to erase this. I'm actually going to bring the collar up. So to emphasize how much her chin is just down into that, it's like all the way up here. And the shadow under the chin that's right into her collar. And her collar comes up like that. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of fun. Her little button. And now we can put her ears in. Do a little bit of shading. Shading around the eyeball. So now if I come back up here, the sharp swoop of the hair comes right here. And then it this spiral curls like that. And this one does like that. Yeah, that's kind of fun. How you guys doing out there? Are you drawing these faces with me? All right. Can let me know if you have any comments or questions about what I'm doing, or if you're just enjoying it. That's cool. And let me take my eraser and just get a little bit of that highlight right there. Boom. That's kind of a fun sketch. So now let's see what we've done so far. We've got, no! Ooh. All right, let's do one more for this, for our time together. We're having fun. I'm having fun. Hope you're having fun. Take a little drink here. Okay, so if you come over here to my VizRef, let's see, I've done 3 women, so I need to do a man. Let's see. Which one should I do? You know, this one right here is just really fun. I gotta do this one. It's like, is that how you feel this week? Maybe. Okay, so we got big shapes going on here. Got the front forehead area, and you've got chin, big jaw, and then the ears are just fantastic. My goodness, look at these things. These are great. And so you've got these eyebrows. Now, in order to get this expression, I'm really gonna exaggerate this to get it. You got this big old chin. I love that. It's so fun. Wild hair. And so I'm going to put the glasses in, because the glasses are going to serve as a reference point for me for where to place the eyeballs. And something that's distinctive about these glasses is that they kind of come down a little bit right there. And so now notice how the glasses are actually magnifying his eyes. And so you've got kind of an illusion going on here. But his eyebrows, what I love about his eyebrows is that they come up above his glasses quite a bit. And they're like these boxes. Like that. And he's got this beautiful asymmetry going on in his face, where nothing's really straight. And then he's just curling this up. Oh, this is so great. And then this curls underneath, and then look at how that yeah, that's great. Okay, so let's get in and we can do a little bit more detail. I'm having so much fun with this face, I can't even believe it. Okay. So we're gonna anchor his little the pads, and the corner of his eyes are right there, and then the edge of his eyes are right here, We're going to anchor those. And then his eyes aren't open very much, but they look really big, right? So you gotta, how do we do that? I'll show you. You gotta follow what's there for one thing, and just trust the lines and the shapes that you're seeing, and let them lead you. These are all kinds of folds going on, things folding over other things here. And these things are all folding in. I love how this comes like this, and then the bottom of his eye is kind of straight across like that. But then his iris and pupil are actually pretty big. And I'll get that reflection in a minute. But look at that. Yeah, there it is. See, that's really fun. You get the eraser and just pop out the highlight, and then we can just start drawing. Now, I need to erase out all of these lines, because one of the distinctive things about this is that it's got a pretty big highlight right here, where you typically don't have it that close to the top, and that's kind of what makes it look really magnified, which is fun. And then it's curved underneath here like that, and then let's see, so I'm just gonna draw in space here. And see, he's got this highlight right here. That's important. And that's highlighted. But then there's a dark shadow right underneath the lens. These are little details that are important, I think. See, look at that. Ah, yeah, sweet. All right, so let's just shape this nose a little bit. Yeah, that's fun. And then just get a little bit of detail to get this fold under there. And I'm doing all of this with just one kind of brush, this sketch brush from Max Olikny. Just a fabulous artist and brush designer. So let's see, that comes around there. All right, so let's get this. So this kind of crinkles up under there, which then, so there's the top of that chin, and there's that walnutty, wrinkly thing going on. And then you've got that shelf, and as we get older, our skin likes to hang under this shelf. And so this is all kind of that gnarly stuff, and then it's being pulled across. He's got a really wide chin bone, like his skeletal structure is just wide, and so that's what makes the shape of this so interesting. So then it falls down in a couple different layers. It kind of goes like that. And shadow arcs across the neck. Comes down like that. Yeah. That's fun. Again, this is just a sketch. Just exploring the shapes and exploring the emotions. And let's see if we can just kind of rough in the character of these amazing ears. I gotta tell you, there's just something about sketching in black and white and not worrying about being like really refined, but just exploring the shapes. It's just so contemplative for me and relaxing and fun. I hope that this has been helpful for you, or at least enjoyable for you. I'd love to hear from you, like how this was for you. If you're watching this, later on and just kind of fast forwarding through it, let me know how it was for you. I am gonna, just because I think that the highlights are so important for this one, that I am gonna just throw in some of the extreme highlights, because it really makes it. Just the fact that the sides of his face are what are highlighted. I just love that. And so, like right here, it kind of shows the shape of that along the edge, and then his neck. the sides of his nose. There you go. Oh man, that was super fun. Let's see what we did. We got 4 sketches done. We got Pam, great hour creating this. Amy Kelly's been interesting. I usually avoid sketching faces. Able to link the brush you use. Oh yeah, I'll try, Amy. And John, who's been very nice. I learned a lot watching you draw. Appreciate the emotional sentiment this week. Thanks guys for watching. Very cool. All right, so we got this one. We got the we got oh, and we got Yeah, very cool. All right. Hey, this was super fun and therapeutic for me. And thanks for joining me this week, Art Pastor Live. I try to go live every week on Friday and do a little bit different kind of art each week. Hey, shoot me a message sometime and let me know what kind of art you'd like me to do on my live streams, and we can make that happen. So the reason I do what I do is exploring spirituality and scripture through visual art and creativity so that we can grow deeper in the love of God through Jesus Christ and the power of the Holy Spirit for the sake of the world. Hey, so thanks so much for watching, and have a great weekend. Try to find something fun to do. Okay.